at 5th Avenue and 56th Street. This is the south side of the building. Emergency officers have been trying to get him to get out of there. They've broken glass and spoken to him. He's waved them off. We have on the phone right now Jack Cambria from the NYPD. Jack, can you hear me?
Hello, Maurice. Yes, I can.
Thanks so much for taking some time here with us. Give us a sense of what you're up against. You have someone who appears to be hostile. What do you do? How long is this going to play out?
Well, it's really up to the individual that's doing the crime at this point. He's in control. The NYPD Emergency Service Unit will look to take the lead on this, along with the NYPD hostage negotiators, in the event that they're able to stop him and the dialogue can commence. But initially, they have to try to contain him as best they can. So, as I've been watching myself, they have been trying to break windows above him or cut through glass in order to create some kind of barricade, but he's eluding them by climbing around them. So it's very difficult. So, and the other problem is we don't know what his motivation is. Is he a Trump supporter? Is he a Trump distractor? Is he just seeking publicity and he just happened to choose that particular building? Similar to what Philippe Petit did back in the 70s on the World Trade Center, did the tightrope walking across there. So what is his motivation? But in any case, once he is stopped and taken into custody, the NYPD would take control of that and first have him evaluated for psychological issues, evaluation, and then if there's nothing there, he'd be arrested, of course.
You know, you said something that was very telling. You said, and I'd like you to flesh this out a little bit, you said it's up to him.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Because if it's up to him, this could go on for, you know, indefinitely.
You got it, and that's how it usually plays out. But, you know, there is some fatigue that will set in probably sooner rather than later. That's a very strenuous thing that he's doing right now. And at one point, he's going to get tired. So in order to compensate for that, the NYPD Emergency Service Unit will have airbags probably situated strategically below him.
Which we've seen.
In the event that he falls and they're able to catch him on that.
So realistically, they could just let him tire himself out before they do anything? Because, you know, people are watching, they're wondering, okay, this man isn't moving very fast here. Couldn't they just break a window, grab him, and then this thing is over? Why wouldn't they do that?
Well, I think, Alice, it's just because we don't want to be seen or do not want to be the facilitators of him being injured or falling or even, you know, in the worst case scenario, being killed. So we have to kind of let him dictate how this will go until he tires out. So if we break a window right near him and he falls, then of course the liability will be on the side of the police department, and that's something that you know, we don't want to do. So we have to just try to contain him as best we can until the point where he decides that, you know, okay, I had enough, I made my point.
Wow.
And then I'm taking into custody.
Whatever that point may be, because as you mentioned, we don't know his motivation at this time. He's been climbing for a while now. He's got that backpack on. They've got roads closed off in the area, but we were hearing from CBS 2's Valerie Castro before that sense of urgency on the ground doesn't seem to quite be there as it was in the beginning. Now people are really just watching and waiting. This man has been pretty calm from what it seems.
Yeah.
He's been talking with those first responders. What are they saying to him right now? As he's going up there, what are the sorts of words, you know, they would say?
Well, they're asking him if he would, you know, to please, you know, come on in, and because mostly out of concern for himself. He seems to know what he's doing. He seems to be professional. It seems that he has done this before, at least practiced this before, someplace, somewhere. So he seems to have a good grip on what he's doing, both literally and figuratively. But those kind of things that try to convince him to change his motivation from what he wants to play out to what we on the side of law enforcement want to play out. Again, it's about public safety.
But,
and the other side, not even, you know, if, you know, he'll be injured as well if he falls, but, you know, he may land on somebody or people and they'd be very seriously injured as well.
And, you know, just to put this in perspective, too, a lot of people are watching from the ground. They're watching at home, somewhat amused. But really, this man is taking away resources. You've got all of these first responders dedicated to what's going on with him right now. Could be taking away from other, you know, more serious situations.
Yeah, and that always seems to be the case. But, you know, rest assured, though, for, you know, for doing public information, that the New York City Police Department does have very adequate resources to deal with multiple high-scale events at any one given time. But you're absolutely right. That immediate area, there are very valuable resources being, you know, taken away where they can be utilized in better fashion.
Now, Jack, I don't know if you have our screen, CBS 2 on. I hope you do, because right now we have a picture of one of these buckets that looks like it's used by a window washer. Can you see that picture?
Regrettably, I do not. I'm in the field right now.
Okay, well, it's coming down the other corner of the building, and it feels like about 15 feet away. You know, there's an officer in there. You're a hostage negotiator. That's what you do. Well, what do you say to this guy?
Retired, yeah.
Right, retired. What do you say? You know, what kind of language? How do you phrase it as it's going on for almost 2 hours now?
Well, it's a very soft approach. You know, we're not, you know, have an aggressive approach with him. We can't. But it's just about, you know, trying to convince him that if you're not going to think about yourself, then you have to think about public safety. And there are people downstairs watching, and God forbid something happens, that you drop one of your cups, someone's be very seriously injured, or if you fall. You know, we try to talk about, if we understand he has a family, for example, you know, what's your family going to be thinking about this? You know, what if they see you fall on national TV? And oh, my goodness, you know. So we're going to try to appeal to his sense of humanity and self-preservation, survival. And we have to keep kind of, you know, working around that until we capture the emotion of what he may be going through, or what he's feeling, what he's thinking. And then once we get an indication of that, then we can kind of delve into that much deeper.
But until he comes around, which it doesn't appear he has, I mean, he's, you know, waving people off and just proceeding as he was. What do you do then? I mean, like you said, it looks like they're going to wait for him to tire himself out.
Yeah, and just contain him as best you can. So what I would know they would probably look to do is just get get vantage points from several different vantage points. So you know, kind of like boxing him in like in a chess game, if you will, and just so he has nowhere else to go. And at one point, he just becomes so fatigued. Again, it's a very physical event that he's doing right now, that he's going to probably say, okay, I made my point, and he'll be waving to the crowd. I'm hoping is how it's going to wind up. But it may take a little time. But, you know, fatigue will absolutely set in if it hasn't already.
And Jack, I know you don't have our video up right now, but this man has a backpack on. We don't know what's in the backpack. How much of a concern is that, especially to the first responders who are in close proximity to this man?
Well, it's a major concern, and of course, and for that matter, I would rest assured that the bomb squad is probably on the scene as well. So once they take him into custody, they will take control of that backpack and examine that, X-ray it, and see if there's any explosives inside that bag. And we don't know. What is his motivation? You know, is it just rescue equipment in his bag? Is it lines? Is it ropes? Is it extra, you know, suction cups? Or is it explosives? We don't know, because we don't know his motivation.
You know, we've been watching. It's coming up on 2 hours, and I don't think we've seen him take a single sip of water, or an energy bar, any food, nothing, no intake, and he's just outputting up all kinds of energy, expending it, and just continuing on. I mean, that's on the outer edge there, right?
Absolutely. So is he someone who may be most disturbed, or has some kind of psychological issues? Is he a performer that just is now? This is oh my goodness, you know. Philippe Petit, I'll go back to that individual again. When he did that, he became known worldwide, you know, and became very famous. So is this his motivation as well? Is he a performer?
Right. So
until he's taken into custody, and my best guess, again, due to the fatigue issue, will be sooner rather than later. It's often 2 hours already.
All right. So
and once that does occur, then you know, much more information will be learned and gathered from that.
All right. We've been talking with Jack Cambria, retired hostage negotiator with the NYPD. A maddening, frustrating afternoon, 2 hours. A man has been climbing Trump Tower. He's at least 18, 19 stories up. South side of the building, 56th Street at 5th Avenue. Traffic is shut down. Emergency service unit police officers are on the scene. Hostage negotiators, all manner of officers are trying to get him out of there, but he has refused all of their attempts. They've broken glass windows at lower floors, and he blew right past them and continued his ascent. This is a 58-story building, so, you know, he's got another 30 to go if he's trying to get to the top. You can see an officer officer there in a bucket coming down the other corner, and I would believe that's the 5th Avenue side of the building where the officer is. He's on the climber is on the 56th Street side of the building. And this thing just goes on. And we talked with Officer